started on the whole paranormal, why we actually do it.
There's always been just unexplainable stuff that's happened in my house. Curtains moving, to hearing weird noises, to more recently seeing stuff, to actual physical objects being moved. Just how I got started, and it's just pretty much just living with it. My younger self, I was afraid to even go upstairs. I was petrified.
I remember you telling me
Yeah,
that.
I did not want to go upstairs by myself. It felt like there was something up there always watching. And pretty much from that point on, I've been just exploring. About 5th or 6th grade, I think it was. We would go to each other's houses all the time. And just the weirdest stuff would happen, like whenever both of us were around.
Out of the blue?
Just out of the blue. Like, I was over at Noah's house, and he had this speaker. As soon as he plugged it into the wall, power went out.
No, actually, it was the one inflatable I just got.
Something like that, like coincidence?
It's really weird because I remember my mom texting the neighbors afterwards, and for a few hours, it was just my house was out. Nothing like that's ever happened until I was wanting to show him something.
4 or 5 years ago, I was outside, I was working on my truck. Out of the blue, my dad's cutting the one bolt off, and next thing I know, I hear a clamp right in my ear. Immediately turn around, looking, nothing there. He shuts off the grinder. He's like, what happened? I just heard this clap. So it was like right here in my ear. Like, that's weird. He's like, because I heard it. I said, really? He said, yeah. He's like, I thought that was you or something. I said, no. The one plate we had fell and woke him up and never broke or nothing. Just fell off the shelf. Coming to find out that 4 people passed away at your house. That doesn't help matters out at all. That's pretty much my backstory of how I got started.
Like every time we do an investigation, there's some female lady that says my name. It actually started at his place. My whole life as a kid, I never had my own experience. Talking with my grandparents, I guess my story really starts when I was a baby, believe it or not. When I was little, I was with my great papa. As a kid, I was really close to him. I was 2 months shy of a year old when he passed away. And obviously, I don't remember much of him. But I guess, right before you could talk, as a child, you speak. You say random stuff because you're growing. According to my family members, I would just say things only he would know. Hearing that kind of put me in the thought of like, okay, well, could that have thrown me into the loop somewhere? About 3 years ago now. It was just a random Saturday morning. My mom was like, well, let's go visit my other great pap's grave. I was actually a little more closer to him. He passed away when I was in 6th grade, actually. The cemetery he's buried at, huge cemetery. My mom and I, last time we were there, was the day he was buried. Had no idea, couldn't remember. And the craziest thing was, we're going through the cemetery, and I start reacting, like my heart rate starts going. Like something is reaching out to me. I still to this day can't believe this happened. My family owns a whole lot. I was talking to my mom and out of nowhere I was like, stop the car. And when we got out of that car, here's the row of headstones, here's the front of her car. It did not pass that. It stopped right, like the front of that car was lined up. As soon as we, cleaned their graves off, cleaned that plaque off, and we, read their names and just tidied up a bit. It was almost their way of saying, follow me, you found us, we're okay, thank you for cleaning. But it's like, ever since then is when I've had dreams. I started seeing visions and stuff, and it might sound crazy, but it's true, because I've tried to focus on it lately, and it's working. My very first, all by myself, thing that scared the crap out of me. I used to have this 6-foot inflatable penguin, and I had a bad feeling. I remember telling you about this. I just had a bad feeling about it. I didn't know what it was. Just something about it didn't seem right. So the summer I got it, I was working on it in my basement. One day I was down there working on it, and I'm listening to music, and I'm talking to myself. In my right ear, I heard this god-awful growl. I dropped what I was doing. I didn't go down in the basement. I didn't do nothing. I ran up those stairs. I was shaking. So that's kind of where it started, sadly. I say sadly because I really didn't want a negative vibe. So all those months later, Christmas time comes. What happened was I was all ready. While I plugged that thing in, walked down my driveway, turn around to take a picture, boom, breaker tripped. Thinking, okay, I overloaded it. Went inside, re-tripped the breaker, without that thing on, and it worked. I got a photo. Afterwards, I put another inflatable there just to see. Never tripped the breaker once. Like, everything was plugged in the first time, breaker tripped. So I'm thinking, okay, no big deal. Plug that penguin in. As I'm walking down my driveway, what I described to you, all I could hear was that big Mickey come crashing down because he had ice on him, and half the yard go black. Everything went out. That to me proved something was attached to that penguin. It went in the garbage and it was gone. And ever since then, nothing's happened.
He never ever seen my whole house. And I took him up in the attic.
Craziest thing is, he's showing me around, nothing's even happening. Coming down the stairs out of the attic, it was like I got a boom right to my chest. I saw an image of a woman, started explaining this woman to Lutzy here. He was like, oh my God, let me go get you a photo. The image I had, this woman in my head, she was right there on that photo.
Without hesitation, he's like, it's that. That's weird because that's what everybody else told me. This lady was the lady that lived in my house. The ultimate test. Let me get a second picture.
Now note, they were years taken apart.
Boom, right there.
She was even dressed different. With these older photos, you couldn't tell by face. And it was like ever since that moment, kind of grabbed us. We're like, let's do this. Let's get equipment. Let's do it. Let's help other people. I know afterwards, my girlfriend's family said they felt happier, they felt at ease that they knew it was for sure him. My pastor actually talked to me and said, hey, I have a lady who's having these issues. She's an older lady. She had all these voices talking to her. And I talked her through because everything she said matched up with what I thought. She left smiling, but she came in smile, but you could tell it wasn't a smile. She was worried. After that encounter, to me was an eye-opener on how much it actually helps people knowing they're not alone and how to deal with it. Yeah, we're not pros, but again, the 7 or so we've done, the few that had people living in that house, we're happy with what we did. They were pleased with the result. We'll have to do it some other day, tell our full stories. That was just kind of show you guys what threw us into the loop together. That's what got us started. That's all I got.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, Megan, for being the cameraman again. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.
See ya.